what's up, y'all? Cattle Pride. Back in this motherfucker. Alright. We're going to see where this one goes. Kind of a follow-up to Tuesday's video, if y'all haven't seen this. So I've had time to decompress and collate my thoughts. Give a better account of the shenanigans that occurred the other day. I still doesn't feel like that's loud enough. So yeah, we're going to talk about that for a minute. We're listening to Coffins. I believe this is called Sacrifice to Evil Spirit. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is the first album. I could be wrong. Y'all correct me. But, I love Coffins, y'all. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like some punk metal type shit, you know what I mean? Doing some doom shit right here. Oh, yeah. Man, leave it to the Japanese to have, like, fucking atmosphere in their fucking metal. You know, leave it to them to, like, hit it with some passion and some zeal. Yeah, man. I definitely like how these dudes do their metal. So yeah, the other day I was in fact riding my motorcycle, and I did get stopped by a deputy. Not the county I live in, but an adjacent county. This was on Sunday. This was on Easter Sunday, so I cut those two vids. The ones you saw probably Monday and Tuesday. Those were both cut Sunday. Pre-ride, post-ride, so that's why I was all excited. You know, I get off the bike, you know, I'm kind of amped because riding a motorcycle is quite the physical feat, and it's also an intense feat, especially if you ride like I do, which is quite aggressively. So, I had to collate some of my thoughts here. I will share some of them with you. I'm going to save some of that altercation with the officer. We'll get to that. Just want to cover a few other things. I guess first and foremost, I know I get comments and I get questions about this. I get questions about this in real life from real people. Sometimes they've even been cops, but sometimes they're just normal people. And sometimes they've been in the comment section. Guys, I do not use drugs at all. I do not use illegal drugs. The only legal drugs I use is caffeine, nicotine, and y'all seen that I eat THC edibles. Over the counter. Legal to buy. That's it. I do not use drugs. I don't even drink alcohol. So I'm a pretty sober guy. So if y'all are all like, oh man, you need to slow down, you're so intense, are you on things? No, I'm not on meds of any kind. I'm not on illegal drugs. I don't use them. And the only illegal things I use is caffeine, right there in my coffee. Delicious black coffee. Nicotine, love my cigarettes and coffee. It's a breakfast of champions. No, I actually I eat real breakfast. I eat real food. And then THCs, and I don't do those when I ride because that impacts my riding. It impacts my skill. I don't like doing that. So I just do the THC when I'm cutting vids and having fun, listening to some music, and working out. It's kind of a performance enhancing, I guess, for me. But anyways, so just so we're clear. I knew that was going to happen. Okay. Let's talk about a little bit about me philosophically. I believe that taxation of any kind is theft. Taxation steals generational wealth. The longer we live, the more taxes and the more fees and the more registrations, the more payments, the more things add up. Guys, that eats away at your bottom line. making you desperate to go back to work and earn more of that money that gets stolen from you through taxation. Taxation is theft. If taxation is theft, what's cop? He's an armed revenue agent. He is an armed agent of the state. He works for the state. We'll tell you that. Armed agents of the state sent to collect duties. Road pirates. I felt this way for a very long time. The longer we get on this timeline, the more amped up I get about the whole thing. You can't tell me putting people in jails and prisons, suspending licenses. You can't. There's no way a cop can tell me with a straight face he is the good guy. There's no way. You are far from a good guy. You ain't never been a good guy. You may have done a good deed, but you are not a good guy. And trust me, I am a bad guy who's done bad things. But I've also done some extremely good things. What am I? Just a person. I'm not good nor bad. I'm just a person. And they are people who've been assigned by somebody you didn't ask for to enforce rules that you don't want. And you're forced to pay for them. And then pay for this guy to come sweat you. Well, if he can bring a gun, so too shall I. He can bring a gun, I will bring a gun. If he comes barking commands, I have demands of my own. If you come for blood, you will find it. That is the rules of the road. So when you're like, the state, ain't no state here, homie. It's you and me. You can hide behind your state. You can hide behind your that little brass piece you got over your heart. Remember, it's over their heart. The shield covers their heart. It is their heart. They are agents of the state. Heart and mind. You know, in the Bible, they say, stuff about your hands and your head. They'll do it with, you'll have evil in your hands and in your head. What they're saying is in your thoughts and actions. They're like, love the Lord with your heart and your hands, with your head and your... It's your thoughts and actions. When they put that over their heart, that's a big symbol that this goes before them. That job, the state, goes before you. It goes before themselves. They will bleed before they will yield. It's what they do behind a shield. When you get a shield in battle, sit back and poke. Got your shield, sit back and poke. That's what they do. Sit behind their shield and poke. You cannot quote the law to we who wield swords. You can hide behind that. But if we have our swords and shields too, now you can't quote. Now you can bark, but I can bark too. You can draw blood. We can draw blood too. If you want to play, this is how you will pay. Oh, by the way, them cops, you ever seen them cops with their tactical gear on, them vests, taser, pistol, spare ammo, got all kind of radio, got all kinds of shit. They're like goddamn soldiers getting out of armored vehicles. Their vehicles are armored to a certain extent. Not gonna stop any major rounds. But they've welded some plates in there and shit like that. It kind of protects them. So they roll up in armored vehicles that has guns in it. And then they come out armed to the fucking teeth, and then they're shocked when you're armed to the teeth. Hey man, if you can bring a gun, I can bring a gun. That's the only way we're gonna be equal. If you're gonna come with weapons, I too will come with weapons. Now we're equal. They don't like equal footings. They don't like that shit. They like you being unarmed. They like you being unarmed. They see you strapped to the fucking teeth, they get nervous. So that cop, I got him to get his... I didn't encroach. Measured responses, guys. Measured responses. I got him to reach down because I encroached on his space until he did it, and then I was like, please continue. Please continue. Draw it. You ever see that movie, Wyatt Earp? I felt like Wyatt Earp there for a minute. I really did. When he like slapped that dude and was like, skin that smoke wagon and see what happens to you. And you're like, come on. And I didn't slap the dude. I didn't slap him, but I didn't even think of it. I didn't need to. The guy was pretty much well broken when he realized pulling that firearm was going to end the situation. And not in the way he wanted. So when he, whoa, this isn't going to work out, he kind of backed off of it and got back, and I let him have his space. Once he did that thing, I let him have his space. Measured responses. If your enemy is retreating, let them. Never corner an animal. Never corner a wild animal. Never corner your enemy. Always leave them an out. I think that's why the Swiss were such badass fighters back in the day, because they would purposely corner themselves and dare you to deal with them. And they would fight cornered, so they'd fight way more rabid. The Swiss guards still today with their pikes and shields are still like, very scary individuals. They use them to guard the Vatican and some of their banks. Think about that. Just roll that around in your head for a little while. Oh yeah. Comments. I guess what I want to say is anybody can approach any altercation. When you enter into an altercation, you can enter in any way you see fit. You, anybody who's heard those words, you can enter into this any way you would like. You're engaging me, enter into this. You come with peace, I will come with peace. If you come with arms, I too will come with arms. You can enter into this any way you like. And you can leave the same way. That's how I approach everything. How do you want to approach this? However you come, that's how we'll come. However you want to leave, that's how we'll leave. You know? I do read some comments from people who talk about getting intimidated by cops. And it's a real thing. They can be quite intimidating. They can be very intimidating. Learn how many they bring. Learn their disposition. What kind of moods are they in when you talk to them? They jacked up? They wired? They nervous? They tired? If you get a chance, just meet them in person. See their disposition. If you ever have more than one, if you ever have backup called on you, and that's a frequent thing for me, look at the disposition of them. What kind of mood or temperament do they have? Are they jacked up? Are they like amped? Are they nervous? Are they calm? Read all that shit. Understand it. Cops frequently can spare 3 cops. So if you got a cop stopping you, he has about 2 friends nearby that can show up reasonably quick, probably within 5 minutes. Learn how to fight 3 people. Train to fight 3 people. Then you will be able to handle your bozo and his friends. One other guy was talking like, oh man, they stack 20 deep. I'm at the point now that if you're like, they stack 20 deep, you just gave me 20 targets. You give me 3 people, you gave me 3 targets. I trained for that. I trained for a hell of a lot more than that. Guys, you can do this at home. If you have firearms or anything, don't load them, obviously. Keep them empty. Clear your house. Clear your property. Walk around with the rifle. Train. Dry fire. You know? I walk around the house sometimes working out, playing some metal. That's what I do. I'll clear the house. And then I'll clear the property. You know, empty weapon. Nothing on it. Practice quick draw. Not so much quick draw, but just like target. Bang. Okay. Another thing I've learned to do is take my holsters and mount it to my bags, my heavy bags. Mount that to my heavy bags and learn how to manipulate a body and grab their firearm. I've also learned how to work a knife to take out your right hand so I can get your firearm. Train. If they stack 3 deep, learn how to take 3. If they stack 5 deep, learn how to take on 5. Always keep pushing that self. More and more and more. to where they stack 20 deep. You're laughing because you've got 20 targets. Now, 20, am I going to survive? Probably not. But all I have to do is get enough of them. If I can train for 3 to 5 and get 3 to 5 accurately every single time in practice, and those cops know that, law enforcement, military, anybody knows that. They know you. Yeah, you can breach, but the first 5 of y'all are gone. Man, nobody wants to be the first 5. Nobody wants to be in the back. They're going to be like, I have to see blood and guts to go in there. That's psychological warfare. You're playing on their emotions. You're filling them with fear. It's real easy, man. Now, can anybody do this? Well, yes, anybody can do this, but there requires an insane amount of discipline, an insane amount of confidence. All that is achieved through practice, teachers, training. It's not hard. It's not unavailable to you. If you're in America, it is not unavailable to you. And if you're overseas and you don't have firearms, go out and get a stick. Go out and get sticks. Get big, heavy, bludgeoning sticks. Learn how to wield those things. Papa! If you're even smarter, man, get some wooden sticks, mount some metal on them. Nuts and bolts. Screw those in. I mean, we ever had a nail bat? I knew a guy back in the day had a nail bat. Just fucking took 10-penny nails. Boom! Put them through a wooden bat. Boy, you didn't want to get caught with that thing. That was a fun little bat. Nail bat. Or you could be like Walking Dead Lucille, where you had it wrapped in barbed wire. That just looks cool. It's not very effective. But it fucking looks cool. Train, man. Y'all are afraid. Give them the fear. They don't like the fear. They don't like being cornered. And that's another one. Lure them into a position where they'll be cornered. Careful where you fight. Be careful where you fight. If they pull you over and you don't feel comfortable stopping there, take them somewhere else. Now, the best thing to do, if you're not going to stop immediately, you need to do a wave. Like, point. Just like, I acknowledge you. Slow your shit down. I acknowledge you. We're going over there. Lure them into a trap. Oh, you'll be surprised. If you can get them in a cornered situation, or you can box them in, or leave a lot of collateral damage for them. Oh yeah. They get mighty terrified then. So when those 3 cops stacked up on me, I got really excited. I got really excited about the stack. I'm like, all right, 3 of them, let's do it. That lead guy got nervous, like, what the fuck? I'm like, 3, let's do it. I'm trained for 3. There's 1 of you. 1 of you, I'm just going to torment you. I'm just going to torment you. 2, I'm going to stay on primary and just keep an eye on secondary. 3 of them stack up. Now they're going to get their confidence. Well, there's 3 of us now. Surely we can handle that. You ever had 3 cops roll up on you and all of a sudden they realize that ain't enough? Extreme music, extreme people, extreme ideas. That's a good feeling. You just gave me 3 targets. Let's do it. Nah, but they pulled their stack into straight defense, supporting one another in a defensive stance so that they can cover each other and pull each other back. It's the last guy has to look backwards, grab his friend, and pull him to safety. Next guy grabs that guy, so on and so forth. That's the stack. And man, when they were looking at their emotionally defeated and drained friend, and I did emotionally drain this guy. I used my words. What weapon did I have? I had a blade and I had a pistol. What weapons did I use? I used my words. I used my words and my body language, and just moved closer and waited for him to make the next step. It's amazing how quick somebody folds, especially with all that training and all that gear and all his friends. It's amazing watching one of those guys just blubber. It was funny. It was funny. I enjoyed that. I do. I enjoyed bringing fear to tyrants. And I brought fear to tyrants. Hey man, every now and then somebody needs to be made an example of. And you make an example of. Yeah, I kind of talked about some of this stuff. Good. Shit, we had 20 minutes. Well, anyways, follow up to Tuesday. Everybody walked away. No charges. I'm trying to score the body cam footage. But I think what they've been doing lately, to a lot of people, not just me, they're not reporting this stuff. They're using your ID flag in the system and be like, oh no, we stopped the person and talked to them and that was all. I couldn't get the body cam footage. The body camera's not activated that day. Yeah, body cam was not activated. We don't activate them. They'll give you some runaround excuse. I am curious if they did have that camera rolling and what it saw. But I am going to try to get that from them. See if I can FOIA or something. Only works on the feds. Like you can FOIA the feds. Your state government is a little harder to FOIA, but it can probably be done. Sometimes they'll hide behind open investigations, but they want to be careful with that wording because then it tells you everything you need to know. Open investigation. Oh, so you are looking into me. So what they've been doing lately is just refusing to actually document things, which that's telling too, that the cops are now engaging with suspects, and they're just not writing it up. But everybody walked away with all their fingers and toes. Everybody went home to their families. I think a couple of those officers did not go home mentally in the condition they went in at. But hey, man, they signed up for this job. They signed up to put that badge over their heart and carry that pew-pew. They did that, not me. I didn't stop them. I didn't bother them. They bothered me. And that's what happens when you bother me. So I'm a little bit calmer now, obviously. So hope everybody's having a great week. Listen to some coffins. Especially Sacrifice to Evil Spirit. The live tracks at the end are totally, like those live tracks. That's what you want to hear. That's the stuff. And the rehearsal tracks. All right. Y'all have a good day. I'm Cattle Prod, your Appalachian warlord, and if it's not voluntary, it's tyranny.